Welcome back, friends, and welcome to a day in my life during the month of January. This day I had many tasks to accomplish, so I want to take you along and share with you what I did throughout the day. I bought some new glasses for our new vintage kitchen from the spring line at Hobby Lobby. I was able to get them on sale and they work really well and they feel like good quality. So we are enjoying these in the new kitchen. I am continuing to move into the new kitchen. It definitely is a process, not an overnight experience. So as I am busy with my daily routine, with homeschooling the children, with keeping the home and laundry and all the things on the agenda every day, I don't really have time to work on moving into the new kitchen all day, every day. And so it's kind of like a drawer at a time or a cabinet at a time or one little project here and one there. And every day and every week we are becoming more and more settled in our new kitchen, for which I am so thankful. It was time to prepare a quick lunch for the family, and as you watch me prepare lunch, I want to read to you a poem that Elizabeth Elliot is known for quoting. I believe the author is unknown, but it talks about how that when we have a lot to do, we need to look to the Lord and faithfully, just simply, do the next thing. The poem is called Do the Next Thing. At an old English parsonage down by the sea, there came in the twilight a message to me, its quaint Saxon legend deeply engraven, that as it seems to me, teaching from heaven, and all through the hours the quiet words ring, like a low inspiration, do the next thing. Many a questioning, many a fear, many a doubt had its quieting here, moment by moment let down from heaven. Time, opportunity, guidance are given. Fear not tomorrow, child of the King. Trust that with Jesus, do the next thing. Do it immediately. Do it with prayer. Do it reliantly, casting all care. Do it with reverence, tracing His hand, who placed it before thee with earnest command. Stayed on omnipotence, safe 'neath His wing, leave all resultings. Do the next thing. Looking to Jesus, ever serener, working or suffering, be thy demeanor. In His dear presence, the rest of His calm, the light of His countenance, be thy psalm. Do the next thing. I have had these pint-size blue mason jars for quite a while, and I decided to use them to put some baking powder and baking soda in my spice drawer. So you can see me here washing them and preparing them to fill them with the powders. Sometimes as I go about my homemaking tasks, I am made painfully aware of the limitations to my own wisdom and my own ability to coordinate all that needs to get done. But I am reminded that wisdom comes from the Lord. Proverbs 2:6 says, "For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding." And so when we as homemakers find ourselves challenged in different areas, how to get everything done, the Lord is pleased when we go to him and ask of his wisdom. So here I am cleaning out the spice drawer that is to the side of our new stove and oven and preparing it for lining paper, and how I am loving being able to pull out this drawer and grab salt and pepper or onion powder or whatever I need with the recipe that I am preparing. And at this point, I began to prepare for dinner, which was going to be a layered lasagna using kind of like a ravioli type pasta instead of the long traditional lasagna pasta. And so I was preparing and browning the sausage. And here I am putting olive oil in a dispenser, a pretty dispenser that I found at Ross for really cheap. Like, I think it was under $5. And I am loving it. It looks so pretty out in my vintage kitchen, and it's so handy right there beside my stove. Here I am spreading out some pasta sauce for the base layer of the lasagna. Normally in a lasagna recipe, you would use ricotta cheese or maybe some cottage cheese between the layers. And we had neither of those, so I ended up using a spinach artichoke dip instead of the ricotta cheese, and my family really thought it tasted good. We ran out of pasta sauce, and so I grabbed some tomato sauce and whipped it up with a lot of seasonings, and that worked just fine. As you can see, I used a variety of different cheeses in the layering of this lasagna. We had several different cheeses that we needed to use up, and so I just mixed them all together and no one knew the difference. Here I am just scooping up the leftover sausage, putting it in a baggie to store in the freezer, and this way on another night, if I need some sausage to throw on a pizza or in a soup or something along those lines, I will have some browned sausage that is easy to grab and warm up and add to a recipe. And this is something I love to do when I brown beef or sausage. Just throw some extra in the freezer for a time when I'm in a pinch and I need something in a jiffy. Here I am with 2 large blocks of cheese that I recently purchased from my Azure Standard order. I will put the link to Azure Standard in the show notes. I did a video on Azure Standard recently, but this is a Whole Foods co-op where we can get healthy foods once a month that are brought in on an 18-wheeler. And I like to buy these large chunks of healthy cheese. And what I do is I cut them in thirds and I freeze the chunks because they come out of the freezer and work just great. And that way I will have them for quite a while. Here I am putting away the new glasses from Hobby Lobby on the shelf that we use for our drinking glasses right beside the refrigerator with the water and ice dispenser. When I've spent several hours in the kitchen, it is always a breath of fresh air to step out into the great outdoors. Now, last week we were dealing with ice and freezing temperatures. This week it feels like spring here in Texas. And so I recently was able to attain some pine needles, which I really like to use in my garden. And I was wanting to spread them out along the fence line in the garden. The garden is very much overgrown with weeds right now, but I was wanting to spread some of these out to prevent even more weeds from popping up along the fence line. My goal is to eventually have my entire garden very well mulched to try to cut down on the constant battle with the weeds. But this is just one step at a time in this big garden goal of mine. For Christmas, my husband gave me this beautiful bistro set, and it came with these adorable little red velvet seat cushions. I put them away in the closet and thought they would be really cute around Valentine's. So you can see me here tying them on and adding a cute little festive touch for Valentine's. I recently bought some candlesticks at Hobby Lobby, and I also bought these battery operated candle tapers off of Amazon. And I love the way it warms up the dinner table, and I do not have to worry about a flame or catching a fire in the kitchen, but it gives it such a coziness, and I'm really enjoying that. Well, it had been a full day, but after dinner I did want to do one more thing and fill one of my thrifted canisters with some sugar. It truly is just a little here and a little there moving into this new vintage kitchen, but I'm thrilled with it. I'm so thankful for it, and I appreciate you joining me here on this channel, and I will look forward to having you stop by again next time.